coordinate efforts of the partnership towards the ensuring that the youth are not left behind in the 2030 agenda. Your Excellencies, in this room sits capable youth leaders who are in a capacity to administer this recommendation. It is therefore a tangible proposal to which we are willing to engage with your official endorsement from this meeting and your material support. I further appeal to members of government present to realize the value of the youth voice and energy in achieving sustainable development. While our relationship thus far has been tumultuous, with youth around the world showing dissatisfaction at certain decisions taken in policy matters, let it be understood that for the youth, the passion that is shown is not necessarily for simple destruction, but rather a cry to be moved from simply being tokens in the participation process without citizen power to make effective change to the status quo. In many countries today, the population of youths is not enough to make a majority, and thus many decisions which they may not agree with are being made for them, and which, although they have opposed, they will have to live long enough to face the consequence or success thereof. It is thus imperative that governments keep this in mind and place youth in the center stage with the power to champion sustainable development in a tangible and traceable way within this partnership's framework. I urge members of youth leadership to join the negotiating tables at local and international levels with the intention to progress and not to regress. With our rights to citizen participation comes the responsibility to ensure that whatever we advocate is in the interests of building upon the success of our predecessors and learning from their failures with respect, so as to ensure that we too can create an example for the next generation concerning intergenerational relations. We as leaders of youth must be willing to make hard decisions in hard times and be willing at times to go against popular opinion for the sake of applying time-tested principles that secure local and international development and cooperation. We're in a very critical stage in the evolution of mankind. We're inheriting a diplomatic system that is a result of lessons learned through centuries of conflict and conquests of peoples and their resources in order to maintain a balance of powers and create a sense of security for a few. We are now in a time where the principle of mutual security, stability, and prosperity is facing its hardest test, as now the world is embarking on sustainable development in a global context while having to balance national sovereignty and security simultaneously. Let us therefore approach this task before us as youths with the reverence due to it and lean towards wisdom and consideration of the pressures at hand. We cannot afford to be apathetic, and moreover, we cannot afford to marginalize one another. With effective development cooperation, let us champion sustainable development for our people, for our nations, and for our world. I thank you.